Welcome to another Aikido Ukemi video. This time we're going to look again at Ukemi, but different than in other videos, I'm going to show it on a beginner person, showing the mistakes and also the important parts and points which an instructor can actually give us pointers to a student, or the student can actually point that out to himself. So this is Mila, my wife. She's been doing Aikido for a few months, or not many times per week, so that's why her Ukemi is still developing. She has some basics, but there's still some points which actually would be great to add up to. So she's going to help us and give the example of a beginner in our video. So we're going to start from the roll from both knees. I'm going to show first the example. So as you've probably seen in the other videos, one leg goes back, the arm goes in, and you place the shoulder next to the knee. The hips go a bit up. You can reach with the other hand. Go here. So now we're going to have Mila do it and see if she has some mistakes, and if yes, then we're going to actually look at them and improve her Ukemi as we go. So actually this roll was pretty good. There's some things we might add though. So to begin with, as you look at the repetition of the video of the roll, it wasn't very fluid, it wasn't very round. So we're going to look at it again. This time was better, but actually what was missing is, so right here, if the hips are too low, it might be difficult, it might need more energy to push up. So she's going to move her back foot closer to lift the hips up here. Now from this position, it's much easier to roll over. One more thing I've said to her already, she didn't have enough energy to go forward. So now she's going to push more with the back foot, and she's going to use more energy as if reaching forward. That should actually help with the fluidity and the energy of the movement. Good, that was much nicer. Now one more thing which she could add at the roll, it's actually the end of the roll. So as you do the roll, the back leg at the end.
That's should have got it very messy.
Whoa, it's taking good patterns in those two. So as you roll, make sure you put some consciousness in the back leg. So at the end of the roll, the back leg actually tilts down, and the other one you place the foot on the mat as you lift yourself up. So once more, as you roll, the back leg tilts under, the other foot you place on the mat. Okay. Now, also one more thing which we're going to improve here is actually to bring a bit more consciousness at the end. So a bit tension in the core. So we want to slightly slow down at the end. Here, as you roll, slow down here and lift yourself up. It's going to help to place yourself better on the ground. Good. So now you see, adding these points, what we mentioned, the roll is much more nicer, softer, better. So now we can continue forward. Now the next roll we're going to do is going to be the back leg roll. And I'll remind you the back leg is tucked under, the foot is placed here. It's the same as at the end of the forward roll from the knee. So now if this leg is the front leg, the roll is going to happen through this shoulder. So one way is to actually look at that shoulder, tilt the body a bit, and next to the shoulder, push myself back as if I would be trying to reach the mat with the front foot. And here, go in a natural position. So we're going to have Mila try the exercise and see how she does it. Okay, so now I'll remind that, so this is if the right leg here is the front leg, the roll is going to happen with the right shoulder. So she can look at that shoulder, tilt the body gently to the side, looking at the shoulder. shoulder. The hands are next to the rolling leg. She's going to throw that foot over this shoulder as if she's trying to touch the mat behind. And also one more thing, which might be a bit difficult. The back here is very straight. If it's a straight back, it can go flat down. Rather, we want a round back. So she hunches down, looking at that shoulder, taking a bit of the body, and now she can try to do that. Good, very nice. So one thing which I would like to improve is actually the end of the roll, similar to what we did in the forward roll. So to bring a bit more consciousness at the end. So as you roll, a bit more feeling here, so that there wouldn't be a bump. Good. The back might have been a bit rounder, but otherwise it was a good roll. Nice. Very nice. You can continue from here. So now we're going to look at the roll through one lifted knee up. As an instructor, I obviously want my students to be safe. So one way to do that, since our mat is on a concrete ground, that means it's not very soft. So in order to develop, first we use a big mat to soften things up. So that's where we're going to start with Mila. So first of all, I'll remind you. So the roll, the front leg, the foot goes forward. I sit in a triangular position. The front arm goes down, looking towards me. I remind you that the elbow doesn't bend. It keeps always straight. This arm is a support. As my body lifts, as my weight goes down, this arm supports the weight. And I go in the entire arm and roll. There you go. So Vila was going to try it now. Good, so it was a very good ball. It's going to do it again just in case. Just there. Good, perfect. So now we're going to switch to a smaller mat. So now that she was able to do the roll on a big mat, we're going to check her skills on a smaller mat. We're going to do exactly the same. So just a couple of things to notice here. As you do the roll, try not to bend the knee too much. So actually the knee goes a bit back. Here. She can actually place the foot on the mat, so just the arm would be at the right position as well. And if you might not see it from this side, but it's important that it's on the toes, the foot, and also since it's straight, as in the previous video, you probably remember the balance is not very strong here, so we're going to actually bring that foot to the side, so the balance is itself out on both sides. So now she's going to try. Good, very nice. And the other side. So now there was a bit of a fear in her system, which made her body contract, and specifically what's dangerous, she slightly bent the elbow. So that's understandable, but it's best to avoid that. The fall was still good, but if the elbow would be bent even a bit more, without this mat, it might be a bit painful. So it's important that as she rolls, that the arm is really straight, and also to make it less frightful. As I told you, if the roll is fearful, this arm should become stronger. So actually, as you go up, you put some weight on this arm, and you roll through the other arm as a result. Good, that was nice, right? And what was still missing on this side is a more momentum forward, more energy forward, as if you're reaching for something. Good, much better. So now the transition from a softer mat to no mat might be still a bit fearful, and as you remember from the previous video, if there's fear, it might create some tension, and then the body bends, and it's painful. So actually we're going to use a trick that for some reason I never saw in another dojo, but it works really well. We're going to use a belt. So now just to make sure that she's doing it well, and she doesn't go on the elbow, doesn't create some pain. So I'm actually going to hold her and gently be lifting her up. I won't lift her up a lot, but just a gentle lift up, that if she goes too much down, I'll actually support her. So she tries, and I'm ready to move with her. Good. Now, since she did a good roll, I didn't need to support her much. The end, as in previous times, was a bit too chaotic. It needs more consciousness, more feeling, but otherwise the roll was good. We'll try again. Good, nice. Since she did it good, since she did it well, I'm going to tell her to try it by herself. Good, nice. Now, as you see, there was too much energy at the end. There was no consciousness at the end, so if you look, at the end of the roll, I need momentum to stand up, but here I stop. I place myself down. I don't go too much far. Better. This might need a bit more practice, but she's getting better with each roll. That means we can continue on to the next point.